PHNX Coyotes podcast, brought to you by the one and only Draftkings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download today using code PHNX and place a $1 football bet and get $150 in free bets. It's just that easy. It's Friday. We made it through the week. We did it.
You didn't count the show, though. Is this 10?
I think it's 12. I was going to say it, and then I all of a sudden second-guessed
just keep track of that.
my math. It's episode 12.
Okay, 12.
I'm fairly confident.
Don't look at me for math.
Don't look at me for math either. Well, last time we were live, we started the show with a clearing to be present.
That's right, the Lululemon clearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to demonstrate this for us at some point.
Well, I have a clearing today. It has been a stressful day for me. I spilled coffee on myself, not once, but twice. So luckily I'm wearing black. And then our bathroom on our floor here is closed. So I had to go downstairs.
That might have been Craig's fault. I saw that too. It's been days. Okay. It's been closed.
That's how we're going.
Just
the shots are fired early.
I know.
It has been shut down for a couple days now.
I know.
So this is
concerned.
3 days now, maybe more.
I don't know. Concerned.
The Morgan's minions are already coming after me on Twitter for my hot dog takes. And we haven't even gotten to that point in the show yet.
And by this, as long as you're segueing there, I think everyone knows by now that we're going to have Christian Fischer on the show today, lover of ketchup.
Yeah.
And
He's
I say
not
that
wrong.
with disdain, although I'm not in good company today. I'm probably on
and
an
not
island.
just on hot dogs.
I'm on an island over
like,
here.
He is ketchup on everything.
Yeah, he's ketchup on everything. I'm ketchup on nothing. So we'll talk about that.
We will.
We'll talk
that might
about
be the
many
funnest
things
topic.
with fish.
Funnest topic of training camp, though, is talking about ketchup. Honestly.
Yeah. It's
a bright
fish, though,
spot.
so let me say this. I hope he's not listening yet because I don't want him to get a big head. But Fish
is that metaphoric?
Fish is one of the best quotes on the team. He's a fantastic guy, as a lot of people also know. He won the Shane Doan Good Guy Award the last time we awarded it. It was awarded a little late because of COVID, but yeah, he's an absolute delight to cover. An unbelievable human being. He's funny. He's articulate. He can talk. And we're going to have him on the show to do all of those things. We may even talk a little hockey if PD forces us.
Yeah,
down that road.
and you know, before he gets on, too, one of the things about Fish, and everything you said is true about what kind of person he is, but what kind of player he is, he's a guy that works extremely hard. He wants to get better. He's one of the early guys on, one of the last guys off. He spends time with coaches, on video, on the ice, trying to improve his game. He truly wants to be better. And he's a guy that can take the criticism. There are some guys that if a coach gets on you and yells at you directly at you and, you know, makes it difficult with you, they kind of cower or go into their shell. And Christian Fischer, I don't want to say he welcomes getting yelled at, but he can deal with it and he'll take that as constructive criticism and try to make that better. He's unbelievably coachable. Yeah, he's a guy that I'm glad is still here. There were moments in the Seattle draft, I was concerned who would be protected and who wouldn't be.
Definitely one of those names.
Yeah, and his name came up. So I'm glad he's still here. I know he's going to be a driving force in that room for what they're going through this year.
He's also going to be a driving force for reporters. We're going to be asking for him a lot.
Maybe we can have many Fish Fridays. That would be fun.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure we can make that a regular segment. I don't think the Coyotes would be too keen on that.
Every Friday?
Every single Friday.
Every Friday with Fish in the house. Yeah, that'd be good. But.
Oh, man. Well, he'll be joining us in a little bit. And until he gets on, we'll talk some Coyotes news, NHL news. Craig, you just came here right from day 3 of training camp.
Well, yeah, day 2 on the ice, day 3 if you count media day. Yeah, quick practice today. Again, pace with Andre Tourigny.
Yeah,
skating hard, lots of skating. He's really incorporating that in. But yeah, it was a quick practice. Got a chance to talk to Antoine Roussel. I'll have something on him fairly soon. Also a really engaging, interesting guy. But I had a piece up today on Alex Galchenyuk, and I'm not trying to promote my own work, although maybe I should. Michaela's
just
back
start
there
wearing
behind him.
Craig
Like,
Morgan.
yes, you should.
Yeah, we're gonna write. Craig Morgan wrote this T-shirts pretty soon. Yeah, we know, Craig. You're a writer. Got it. No, this is like just a commercial for your writing. Actually, technically, it probably is.
Okay. So while we're on that topic, why don't both of you talk about my writing?
I'm done talking about my writing. Why don't you guys talk about it?
I wrote a piece on Alex Galchenyuk, and it's a cool story. Everybody knows he was here before. It was a brief stay. He came over he left in the Kessel trade, but they tried him. He came from Montreal. He had his issues with Montreal, but the interesting thing we both talked about this, PD, is you heard about all that baggage that he carried from Montreal, and then when the guy arrived here, he's a great kid. He's easy to talk to. He works hard. He's eager to learn and to listen. I didn't see any of the stuff they talked about in Montreal, and I don't want to say that there wasn't anything to it because I wasn't there, but he's been a fantastic guy to work with. Now, obviously, he's had some struggles trying to find a foothold in the NHL. He's bounced around from teams. He felt like he got his game back, or at least evolved his game a bit last season in Toronto. And Andre Tourigny said he saw it as well, where he became a more complete player. He was more detail-oriented, especially away from the puck. And that, as Andre said, makes him a better weapon. I'm curious how this all works out. He's on a PTO. He had, I think, a couple other offers, but he opted to take the PTO here because he kept his house here, never sold it, loves living here, comes back here all the time, and now he's got a really good chance, I think, to make this roster.
Yeah, we talked about some of the deficiencies in his game on the defensive side, and I think that's where the frustration has come in with coaching staffs that he's been with along the way. Offensively, guy can skate, great hands, playmaker, can find the net. And when if you remember last year in Toronto, there was a 2 or 3 week period where he was kind of hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was hot in the media. He was putting up some points. He was helping the offensive numbers, and then that kind of faded a little bit. It's a great opportunity for him here. I think it's a good fit at the right time. He is a good kid, and he does do things the right way, and he wants to be better, and he wants to help, and he does have a fun-loving personality. I mean, he's really could be a good fit in the room at the right time for everybody. A little less pressure for him to perform here than he's had in some of these other stops. Toronto is a team that's trying to win the cup, and playoff pressure is there. And then he was in Pittsburgh and Montreal in some really high pressure situations. I just don't think that pressure's here for him now. So maybe this is where he finds it and puts it all together.
I was going to just say, anyone who willingly chooses to spend their summers here, I mean, they must
Right.
really be dedicated because...
Yeah, that surprised me. He said
brutal.
This is the first time he's never taken a summer vacation. He usually goes to Florida, but he stuck around, trained with his dad, skated with the Coyotes, really, really wanted to be here. But back to your pressure point, not only are you're playing in Toronto, so it's a media circus there. You're under intense scrutiny, but there are really no expectations for the Coyotes either, so it's a really easy situation to play in. I think he was going to be in the top 6 if he had gone back to Toronto. Probably have the same opportunity here when you look at the roster. But again, far less pressure on Alex Galchenyuk.
Awesome.
And I think it's going to be about the personalities here. Like we talked about that we're going to try to find things here on this show specifically, but fans are going to try to grab onto things. And I think the organization is going to try to push these people and players and personalities versus wins and losses. I might be wrong. I mean, maybe this whole thing, Carter Hutton catches fire, and this season is a miraculous run to the playoffs. If not for that, they need personalities like Alex Galchenyuk, who's a good interview. He's a good player to give the fans something to grab onto. And all the fans here need something that they can go, okay, here's a guy I want to watch tonight. Whether it's just an individual effort or somebody playing an offensive play, you got to have something to keep the fans interested.
I've been surprised by the reaction to the story. It really blew up when I posted it this morning, and I didn't realize that there was that much interest in Alex still. And again, it's a PTO. I think he's got a great chance of making the team. In fact, I'd be surprised if he's not on this roster, but I didn't realize there was that much interest in him. But a lot of people rooting for him in this market really want to see him succeed and, again, be on this team.
Yeah, it's a fun story.
Yeah.
Were there any other Coyote storylines you wanted to touch on? Or
Man, we hit so many of those in the camp preview that let's roll those out one by one. There are storylines around the NHL, though. You want to talk about media circuses? How about Vancouver day one on the ice? The overreactions to what they were seeing. Travis Green probably better than I do. I think day one is traditionally a bag skate for him, where he really tests those guys. I can't remember what it's called, but there's an actual name for that skate in Vancouver.
I saw the tweets on Oliver Ekman-Larsson struggling and the concern from their fan base and media, and then I saw Garland on the ice. It's
throwing up.
It's day one.
Yes, it's
day one. It's training camp.
Exactly.
Coaching staffs are frustrated when guys don't come in shape. Absolutely true. They do not like to see that kind of performance on the ice on the first day. They want to see everybody flying colors getting through it. They also want to see some of that pain. They want to see some guys struggling to get through it. And if you think that was the only rink in the NHL where guys were tired or feeling sick or behind in an end-to-end skating race, you're just wrong. It happened everywhere in the league, and it happens to veteran players. It happens to rookies. Just relax. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson is going to be fine on opening night. This is no precursor to what kind of player he's going to be in Vancouver, what kind of season he's going to have, what kind of shape he was in. And somebody else brought it up online. Who knows what their practice was like prior to this? You know, what kind of reps was he having? Were they doing one-on-one battle drills? Were they scrimmaging? Like, what led up to that moment? If he put it all on the line for the first 45 minutes of practice, competed, battled, did everything that was asked then, and now we're doing wide open skating drills. And by the way, those are incredibly difficult. Let's not be so hard on him because we just don't know. And the Canadian media was all over him. Oh my goodness, look at the trade we made. Right. Go watch the Coyotes. The thing is, nobody's watching the Coyotes get bag skated. If they did, you're going to see similar reactions. This is just, it's a mental thing to get guys to push through these things where their legs are burning and tired. It's not all about he's out of shape.
Right. And I mean, he's on a big price tag, right? And it was a big offseason acquisition, so he's going to be under intense scrutiny anyway. But again, like you just said, let's wait until day one of the season to see if it's an actual problem before overreacting the way they absolutely did up there. And
by the way, a typical NHL shift is 45 to 55 seconds long. That's it. Like, people think these guys are on the ice. They do get up to 18, 20, 24 minutes. They do, but it's in 45 to 55 second chunks. You don't expect a player to skate for 30 minutes wide open at that kind of a pace in that kind of environment. Like, that's not what they do on a daily basis. So again, grain of salt, deep breath, Vancouver fans. I know we're not here to pander to them.
I don't think
but
it's
they
possible
didn't win
in
the
that
trade or lose the trade. Like, people are comparing, Gunther now to the trade that they made. Just relax.
We talked about this on the previous podcast on the Natty Addy about how some fan bases are crazier than others. And look, Toronto has its own issues, as you know, because the Leafs haven't won the cup in a very long time. But Toronto fans, at least, I think their expectations, they don't have expectations. They always expect the other shoe to drop. They always expect something to go wrong. Whereas in Vancouver, the teams are always inflated. They have high expectations every season. They expect everything to go right, and they're nuts. I think that is the craziest fan base in the NHL up in Vancouver. I can't imagine what it's like playing as a player up there.
And the expectations are incredibly high there. And this season as well, they've got a couple of unsigned restricted free agents that they're going to have to get locked up before they play. It'll be an interesting season there, because I know that as the Coyotes leave the Pacific Division and enter the incredibly competitive Central, the Pacific has maybe two teams, Edmonton and Vegas at the top, and then it's everybody else battling for it. And Vancouver is a team that has to think they're fighting for one of the playoff spots out of the Pacific. So I understand where their fan base is coming from, but let's let this all play out.
And another piece of news that does impact Vancouver as well is there was an NHL memo that the NHL expects 30 of 32 arenas to open the season at 100% capacity. And one of the two buildings that was not included in that list of 30 was Vancouver. So that affects both the fans and the team, I would imagine. They wouldn't get that same home ice advantage that other teams in the NHL.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Montreal is the other city, the team that makes it to the Stanley Cup Finals, who is trying to ride high on what they've done and accomplished in last year's playoffs, and they're not going to be open up to full capacity right away. And there are teams like Arizona that will be open to full capacity, and by game 12 or 15, will it matter? I don't know. Time will tell.
Time will certainly tell. Well, I want to talk about the last couple Fridays. We've done our Draftkings pick of the week. But the theme so far has been you bet against the Bears. That's your hometown team. You bet against the Vikings. Yep. That's your hometown team. So I'm going to continue the tradition. And I mean, this is expected, but I'm going to that would be good though. I'm going to bet against the U of A. If you don't know, I'm a U of A alum. That is
probably a safe bet.
Yeah, and they're been not good, and they are playing Oregon, which.
Hey, can you remind me who just beat them? Who'd they lose to last week?
Down
some trees.
I don't want to talk about it.
Louis.
Wow.
And Jacob's
that
sitting
game in
over there
Tucson?
wearing his
That
ASU
game was in
zip
Tucson,
up.
wasn't it?
That game was in Tucson.
In Tucson. Louis went down to Tucson and oof, wow.
Not pretty.
That's a
Hey,
little point.
ASU lost last weekend too. NAU.
To a ranked team. Congratulations.
So where are they this weekend?
Oregon,
Oh,
which
boy.
in the mess of the Pac-12, Oregon
Jacob
is
behind the mic laughing.
the best among the Pac-12 at the moment, and there's just
Beat Ohio State
no
in Columbus.
way. There's
What could
just
go wrong?
God. So it's gonna be really bad. So
Wow.
my DraftKings bet of the week is for it's Oregon to cover, right? Yeah, that's what it is.
28 and a half?
28 and a half.
Wow. 28 and a half and got them to cover.
So-
I
Yeah.
do like that, though. I still like it. Even at 28 and a half, I
Yeah.
still like
So
it.
I mean, I'm sorry to U of A. U of A is a basketball school, gotta stick with that. So that's my DraftKings pick of the week. Be sure you can hop on that, or I would not recommend betting for U of A in any capacity. So you can either do the cover, or whatever other combination of bets you want. But be sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And use the code PHNX when you sign up. If you place just $1 on any football game this week, that's college or NFL, you'll receive $150 in free bets instantly, no matter what. So, I mean, it's a really great deal, and DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, easy to withdraw your money. So once you win that bet and bet against U of A, then you can withdraw your money and buy a beer to drink away your sorrows for U of A being a trash football
Is there a
team.
bigger spread out there than that this week?
Not that I know of. I'm sure there's some,
Yeah.
I mean, last week it was very surprising, but Georgia was a 31.5-point favorite over South Carolina. That was SEC play.
Yeah, it's like
And they didn't
some
cover- they
FBS
didn't
team
cover.
playing in the SEC.
I do. Those
Might have a
bigger.
spread,
I'm
but
getting
that's
new.
about it.
Still new to the DraftKings, but those big spreads do scare me a little bit. In
Yeah.
college, though,
It's a
they do cover.
conference game too.
Like they can cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'm
it's
still.
not
I like
looking
it.
good.
I like it at 28 and a half.
Not looking good.
Covered when they won 70-7, that's for sure.
Okay, you don't need to bring that up. I'm gonna we're changing the
We got
conversation.
fireworks.
DraftKings Sportsbook app download using code PHNX to get those $150 of free bets. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Whew.
And I'll pander a little bit because if you haven't downloaded the app yet, and I have never been into sports gaming in my life, I cannot wait for Saturday and Sunday now. For college, I started
Wow.
looking at the college bets yesterday.
Look at
I'm
you.
starting to put together an NFL parlay for this weekend. I tell you, it as advertised, as Leah just said, it's incredibly easy, and it makes every game you're watching more fun, and you're on the edge of the seat till the game is over, regardless of the score, because they're so close on these spreads, it keeps you watching. And so what we do at home is we wait to see what game is going to be nationally televised. We pull up our DraftKings app, and we proceed from there to make that game that we're watching more interesting. And it doesn't mean you have to put, hundreds of dollars on these bets. Just they have smaller amounts that are easy to click on. You click on that $5, it's easy.
Or you can use your free bets that you get
Exactly.
There you go.
the sign up. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Okay.
and if you don't know anything about betting yet, which I'm still learning, our PHNX bets guys here, Johnny and Shane, are going to be creating betting 101 videos. So those will be super useful. They'll be on our YouTube and on gophnx.com, which if you're not a member, sign up now. You get a free shirt if you do the year membership, not subscription. And or you can try your first month 50 cents if you want to start with month to month, and you can see all of the stories that we mentioned,
Get
10
Craig's
times.
stories.
yeah.
I might even write one on the guy that we have holding on the line, right? Do we have Fish with us now?
Not yet.
Oh,
Still hasn't called in.
the
Uh-oh.
technology. Uh-oh.
We're
We'll
gonna have to
see.
check in with Fish while you guys fill our time here.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah, and I asked Johnny and Shane for some advice on, and I should mention that Shane also went to ASU just like Jacob did. This is a divided office here. We got some U of A and some ASU alumni, so I don't know how much I trust them, but I've seen enough U of A football to know that it's probably not looking good.
Not good.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing about gophnx.com too. Not only is it Craig Morgan's writing, which is, we clearly know as a hockey fan, if you need hockey information, you need Craig Morgan's inside look at hockey. But there are so many things at gophnx.com. And I think that's, I've said this on the show, I've said it on other shows, this is just a sports vibe. Like, we talk, once we get here to the studio, it's people from all the different beats and different sports. Everybody's talking about other teams. You get much more involved. And I think Go PHNX on the site, if you're there to read Craig, great. Like, we want you to talk hockey. That's why we're here. But look at some of the other stories that are out there and some of the other content that's there, whether it's written or podcast or even the YouTube live show. There's a lot of Arizona sports. And you know what? Don't be afraid to check out what the Suns are doing. It's an exciting team. They're fun. Become a Suns fan. I don't know basketball, but I'm excited about the Suns season getting going. The Cardinals are 2-0. It's just fun. I mean, that's what sports is supposed to be. So go there to read Craig, but try something else. I didn't mention the D-backs. I know. 10 games left?
It's tank season.
10 games left?
Yeah, 10 games left. Time for the worst record in the MLB. Gotta get
I know.
first overall pick.
I know. It's just a precursor to what I think Coyotes fans have in
At
store.
least we don't have to play 100 plus games or lose 100. Actually, yeah, the Diamondbacks lost 100, right? So at least we don't have to endure that.
I stopped counting, to be honest. Yeah, that was an ugly season.
So what'd you find out, Craig? What's happening?
We're trying to get Fish on here.
Do you wear glasses, or should you wear glasses?
Yes, I do wear
I'm
glasses.
just checking.
Well, I'm normally not reading on the show.
I know.
That's not what I do.
I know,
so, but I'm trying
you are
to read.
allowed to wear glasses on the show. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get Christian on here. In the meantime,
Well, there's other NHL news we can talk about
Yeah,
in the
sure.
meantime. Let's talk about Jack Eichel failing his physical in Buffalo and getting stripped of the captaincy.
Well, the physical we weren't surprised about. With the neck issues he's had, and will he get surgery? Will he not get surgery? What's going to happen physically with Jack Eichel? That's been a topic of discussion since the season ended. So not surprised that he did not pass his physical. But what I am surprised about is that they stripped the captaincy from him. I guess it's a foregone conclusion. They've talked about trading him since the season ended, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say we're going to have a captain that we don't really want here, although you saw it here with Oliver Ekman-Larsson for 2 seasons. So now that you've stripped him of the C, the biggest question in Buffalo is, what the hell do you do now?
yeah, exactly. Pete, at this point, can they get anything for? They can't get what they're asking in a trade at this point.
It's
can
a
they?
mess because you
It
can't
is.
have him come into your room. How is he going to go put on that sweater every night and compete to his best and highest of his ability, knowing, one, that you tried to trade you, two, they don't know if they trust what they're doing physically with you, your body, your surgeries, your neck, and three, they don't like you enough, they rip the C from you. So I don't understand how you can get the performance out of a high-end player like Jack Eichel and what they pay him for, how they can expect that out of him this season. They have to get a deal done. They need to get this garbage behind them before the season starts. And unfortunately, when you do stuff like this, what happens around the league, people start saying, that's Buffalo.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be, that's Buffalo or that's Arizona. You need to get past all of that stuff and to do it. Make the trade, get a clean break, move on, and start over. And unfortunately, I'm concerned at where the Buffalo Sabres are right now with Jack Eichel.
Yeah, you know what? On that point, I think so much back to that 2015 draft that everybody said was going to alter the face of a couple franchises, right? You had Connor McDavid clearly at the top of that draft, and then you had Jack Eichel second. Two guys who were supposed to, I mean, Connor McDavid's a generational player. Jack Eichel was considered a franchise center. Here we are 6 years later. Look where the Sabres are.
Yeah.
Now they're trying to move this guy. They haven't improved at all. They haven't made any strides. The Coyotes, of course, were third. Got Dylan Strome and have been wandering in the desert. But even Edmonton,
No pun
with
intended.
Connor McDavid, they've got two incredible centers at the top of their lineup. They haven't been able to surround him with anything. All three of these teams still struggling to get anything going.
And that's when we talk about what the Coyotes are doing right now with their rebuild and trying to get draft picks and trying to, fill the cupboards. This is where the concern is. I mean, the first step is done, and they've done it extremely well. They have more draft picks in the first 2 rounds than any team in the history of the league. Fantastic. But even the Edmonton Oilers, with the best player since Sidney Crosby, can't push the franchise along through the playoffs. So that's where the concern level comes in for Coyote fans. Just because you have draft picks and have a lot of them, there is no guarantee that that's going to, one, get you in the playoffs, and two, more importantly, are you hoisting the cup in 5 years? I mean, that's a big reach. Edmonton, again, the expectations are high. Draisaitl's back, McDavid's back, so the expectations are extremely high. But that, again, we haven't played a game yet. And how did their playoffs end last year? Their goaltending is still a problem. So I think there's a lot of questions left to be answered on what McDavid's legacy is going to be and what's going to happen with the Edmonton Oilers. Same thing in Buffalo. The Eichel era is over. I mean, I don't care if he stays and they strip him of the C. The Eichel era is over. He's never going to be the player they wanted him to be there. If he plays this season, I just don't see him being that excelling and putting up the numbers that they expect from a guy second overall.
Could you even conceive of him coming back to that situation at this point? Is there even a path for him to come back to Buffalo?
I don't know how he does. And it's the two biggest issues. Stripping of the C, okay, you've seen it in some franchises, especially when a player gets later in his career and that new up-and-coming guy comes. It's happened. You know, Joe Thornton. You see guys like that losing their C. Not uncommon. But for them to debate over his health over the entire summer, you know, his the surgery, not surgery, and second opinions and team doctors, that's almost a bigger concern, because you'd think you'd get on board with your player and go, okay, we want you to get healthy. Whatever your path to get you healthy and happy is, we're on board. And so that one to me is almost even a bigger surprise that they're not working with him to make it better. It's almost like they're against him. They're at odds in everything. And I don't know how you can succeed or move forward from that.
So is that a scenario where they would trade him and then another team would allow him to get the surgery that he wants? But then if you're that, then if you're that team, you're taking a player that you know he can't play right away because they have to have the surgery and the recovery.
And
I just don't
like. What happens after the surgery too? What's the impact of the surgery? There's so much to unravel.
I just don't see where this. is
and I don't see how that increases his value on the trade market. I still cannot believe this is not done. And you look at Kevin Adams, who's the general manager of the Buffalo Sabres, former Arizona Coyote, by the way, which we say about so many people in this league. Former Arizona Coyote. He's an inexperienced GM. Working for an organization that has a very loud ownership group. You know, Mr. Pagula and his wife, Kim, are very integral in the day-to-day operations of that team. So first you wonder who's in charge. Two, Kevin's never been there before, never really done this. It's his second year as GM. This is just snowballing that franchise in a direction they've been going for years. I don't know how they get out of this. Yeah, I really don't.
It's an absolute mess.
Seriously, I don't know.
You think you got it bad in the desert, folks?
I know.
Take a look.
Hey, at least we have nice weather here too. You know.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like when I think about, I obviously hear a lot of outside perspective on the Coyotes, and I'm probably more aware of it because I cover the team. I wonder around the league if the perception of Buffalo is the same as it is of the Coyotes. If they're in the same breath, because
similarities.
It's been a mess there for so long, and you finally get this player that you think is going to carry you out of this, and it's arguably gotten worse.
The truth is that there have been times that those words have been spoken, that it's Arizona and Buffalo come from, are spoken of similarly throughout their histories. But Buffalo's franchise has been around for a very long time. I mean, we're talking about a history there of some very good hockey players and some really good teams. Arizona kind of ebbs and flows. I don't think it's considered to be what Buffalo is now. And the other knock on Buffalo, like it or not, it's the weather. Like it's the truth.
At least we've got that. Like, that's true.
People might not believe that, and they're pro athletes, but playing in Buffalo, Edmonton, Winnipeg, man, that's hard.
He made it.
Oh my
God! Hello.
Yes.
Now can he hear us?
Did I make it?
We have Fish. We've had some technical difficulties by our wizard, Jacob Franklin, just solved the
Fish,
issue.
We have been stretching out topics. Like we've been.
Yeah, did you hear this one? Wow.
Oh, my goodness. We've been talking Buffalo Sabres the last 5 minutes. Are you there, Fish?
Can you hear him, Fish?
Oh,
I can't hear you.
Can't hear us.
Oh, no.
Can't hear us.
Fish on the screen now, but he can't hear us.
Could you hear me?
Yes, we
can
do.
definitely hear you.
We can hear you.
This is always fun.
You are live on the air, Fish. So watch
Let me
what
see.
you're saying too. You can't hear us when we're saying that.
Fish has left. This is not the show that we expected today, but we're gonna roll with
We're
rolling
rolling
with
with it.
whatever
This
is
is-
going to happen.
Again,
Just like the
It is-
Coyotes.
it is show 12, right? Show 12.
here.
Patience.
Uh,
Turned up, so
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
yeah.
Get headphones on.
yeah,
We got a brief glimpse of Fish. We're obviously having some technical difficulties here, as you can all see. You all came to see Fish too. You didn't.
I
Come
know.
to see
We
Petey
have
and I
been
talk about
teasing
the
it
Buffalo
all day.
Sabres.
I know.
And the internal work.
there. He didn't make it.
I know.
No longer-
The internal workings of
But he's vanished from the
PHNX.
screen, hasn't
We worked on a headline for the Fish show all morning.
he? Yep.
We had Fish Friday, Gone Fishing,
Yep.
which was my
Hello.
personal favorite that did not win.
Can you
Oh.
hear us?
No.
I can hear you now.
Fish.
You can hear us. It's a miracle.
We did
Hey.
it.
Are we allowed
Fish.
to go longer?
Yeah, yeah.
Fish.
Shane's got
Look at the
We're
that.
gonna
ketchup.
stretch this
Got the
out for
ketchup
you all
bottle.
because
Oh,
you
look,
waited patiently.
Craig, do you see what is on his
got the
tape? Can you
ketchup
make
on
him
the
full?
table.
Oh.
Can you make him full screen?
So no, Fish. Craig doesn't wear his glasses. There we go. Fish.
All right, this was worth waiting for.
Um,
Fish, we've actually been praising you for the last like 15 minutes, actually saying nice things about you. So
That is a true story, Fish.
yeah, so I'm actually going to stop that now, and
Yeah.
and I need to ask Fish. So we'll start this off. Obviously, we're joined by Christian Fischer now. I need to ask, can you confirm rumors that you just recently got out of a 2-week stint in ketchup rehab?
Uh-oh.
No,
Uh-oh.
No, no, we can hear it.
sound.
No, there we go.
There
Yeah,
we
we
go.
got you.
We're good now?
Okay.
There we go.
All right,
Somebody
let's-
else muted me there.
Can you address these rumors, Fish, please?
As you could tell, I am on the organic catch-up now that training camp has started. So
Oh
no,
no.
we lost him again.
Fish, you muted again.
Fish, why do you keep going out on us?
Guest has muted themselves.
You're muted.
there we go. There we go. Now I
Don't
can
mute
hear it.
yourself again.
But
So
yeah,
Fi-
training camp. I'm on organic catch-up for training camp.
So, Fish, I'm going to ask you a serious question about training camp and food specifically, because I know this has kind of been the theme of our show. Professional athletes, their diet has changed immensely over the span of the last 10 or 15 years, right? Now,
Right.
there are guys on your team that have their own chefs. There are guys that just do prepared meals that they stop and pick up. They have food delivery services. There are probably a few that cook for themselves. What is your diet regimen throughout the year? I know you just don't have time to be going to the store and cooking. You just don't have time. So how do you, Christian Fischer, what do you do to eat during the year?
So my first 3 or 4 years when I was living with the Kells, we did the private chef. So that was nice to have him, and it was Ian Ray. He was our buddy here. He actually worked with Max Domi. So once Domes got traded, me and Kells swooped him up, and we used him, and he was unbelievable. It was breakfast, lunch, dinner. He was at the house. Nowadays, now last year was the first year we ventured out, and I don't have my little son Clayton anymore. So I'm actually a pretty good cook. So I'm pretty independent in my terms of cooking. I'd say my breakfast is always at home, and I cook. I always do that. That's easy: eggs and oatmeal and coffee. Very, very easy. Lunch and dinner, I usually most of the time order out or do DoorDash. Like right now, I had Flower Child right after the rink. So there's the best thing about Scottsdale, and obviously, it's easy to say for me, but I genuinely believe food-wise, like healthy, in season, organic, farm to table stuff, True Foods, Flower Child, Chop Shop. There's so many organic and easy options. It's not bad. It's not Chipotle. It's not that type of stuff. It's actually really good. So I'm a big DoorDash guy. But like I said, I cook. I know how to cook. I cook chicken. I have my pastas. I know how to do that. But pregame, I order it. Like I DoorDash usually chicken parm and pasta. When it comes to game day, I don't like to spend too much time on my cooking.
Yeah.
How many foods get ketchup? What do you put ketchup on? Or maybe
Ketchup-
the list is smaller of things that you don't put ketchup on.
I'm not a big ketchup guy. I would say I mean, realistically, it's only hot dogs and French fries. That'd be my only, like, that's potatoes. Potatoes is ketchup. Any potato, I'll throw it on anything. If the potato wedges,
Like breakfast potatoes. Because I
breakfast
think
potatoes,
I remember
yep.
ketchup on a certain breakfast that we had together in Illinois. So.
Oh yeah, hash browns, ketchup on it. So any potato and just hot dog. So
okay,
I just we're gonna have to dive into that because you are.
And we will.
Mean, I get it.
It's
I get it. I'm a Chicago guy. I get it. I know Chicago style hot dogs, but I love ketchup. I'm sorry.
How did this happen when you grew up in Chicago? What went wrong?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'd love to know. I'm actually curious. I don't know on the top of my head if my dad or brother both used. I think they're both ketchup guys, so maybe it's just in the genes. But I told Craig this story that there's a restaurant, hot dog diner, I guess you call it, Gene and Jude's in Chicago.
Legendary.
Which is legendary. They put the fries on your hot dog, so it comes whatever your dog is. It's fries stuffed into there, and they're fresh fries. It's unbelievable. But just to Craig's point, I think Craig might have 5% ownership in it. There's no ketchup there. Zero ketchup. Can't have ketchup.
A sign that says
no it literally ketchup? Says no ketchup. Yeah, it says no ketchup. Yeah. So you can, if you ask, like they know that you're not from town. I bring my own ketchup bottle with me in my car. That restaurant, I do.
That's impressive.
That's awesome.
I do.
Well,
I do.
Fish, I'm going to keep diving back. We'll go back and forth between ketchup and hockey. I'm going to go back to hockey stuff. And this one's going to be a little bit tougher. And
okay.
Last season, you struggled offensively. There was some futility. It's not that you didn't have your opportunities. You weren't around the net. You weren't getting your ice time. The puck just wasn't going in for you.
Yep.
It was a tough season. So what do you do from the end of last season to where you are today on the second day of ice on training camp? What do you do to help build that up? What are you working on in practice? Is it mental? Is it physical? Like, what do you go through as a player to help move that along so you do see some more offensive success?
Yeah, I think this summer was a great summer for me. I mean, I know everyone says that you come into shape, the best shape of your life, blah, blah, blah. This whole summer, I skated quite a bit, worked a lot on just overall skills, stick handling, shooting, a lot of stuff. Earlier in my summer, it was just that stuff. I think the one thing I learned a lot is how quick your shot has to get off. I think when I'm scoring a lot and a lot of my goals, it's one, strong bottom hand, one touch it in. I think you don't want to get too mental with it. I know from my standpoint, if given the right ice time and opportunity, I could produce without a doubt. You got to have that confidence. I think this summer, I grew a lot of confidence in myself. This is obviously a big year for me and contract wise and team wise and taking another step in my role. So, that's a big part. I think the last 2 years I might have gotten into too much of a defensive mindset just with kind of the role I was playing and where I was playing. I wasn't the guy going out to score goals, and I think I might have just taken that whole mindset away, which you can't do. I mean, if you have a 2-on-2, you can't just chip it in every single time. You got to make some plays. You got to. So I was in between that balance of play it smart. Or don't and turn it over and maybe you don't play the next game. So it was a tough it's a tough edge to play with. I think last year I got my role in pretty good. I did a lot of really good things in where I was given. Learned a lot on the PK, did a really, really good job there. And but this year I think I'm not going to throw out numbers or anything, but I'm very confident in myself in terms of in my shot and my ability to get to the net. It's nice, as you know, PD. It's nice, not nice. It's helps you so much when you're given just maybe a little bit more offensive zone draws, call it, right. It's hard to score every if you start every time in your D zone. It's you got a lot of things got to go right for you to get that puck all the way down there and put it in the net. So. And that goes along with everything, every situation, power play or whatever you're doing. So I expect big things out of myself. I expect, big numbers and the highest numbers I've had. I have a lot of confidence now, and this is a big year for myself and our team. And whatever situation I'm given, I have full confidence that my offensive side it's always there. I know I do it in practice all the time. I do it when given the opportunity. And that's kind of my mindset going into this year.
Fish, you talked about opportunity. In a sense, does it help to have a new coach who's come in and said, everybody has a clean slate? I'm not going to judge anybody on what they've done in the past. You have a chance to earn roles from this point forward. Does it help from a fresh start perspective?
Yeah. I mean, in any situation, when you have a new coach, you get to prove exactly what you are. Obviously, the Kellers and the Schmaltzes, they've been doing their thing for years and years, and it's pretty simple with them. But as a guy like myself, I could start out hot and show Bear right away that, hey, I could be a guy that we could use in the last minute to score a goal. So that's all on me, and I'm obviously happy about that in terms of having there's no cloudy water or anything with Bear. It's whatever you're showing him the last 2 days, it starts right away, right? This is his first time seeing us. You could show him right away. You could show him your work ethic. You could show him your skill. You could do so much. Obviously, as weeks and weeks go on here and more games are happening, that's kind of where you really, kind of make a stance. But it's nice. I think everyone should be motivated. If you have a new coach who probably hasn't seen you play other than video, and you go from there.
And you talk about one of the other things that you dealt with this summer and your mindset specifically, when you look at the expansion draft with Seattle. And there were times, and ultimately you get protected, you stay a Coyote, all of those things are great, but there were media reports, and your name came up a lot, that Christian Fischer is a guy they're going to unprotect and he's going to Seattle. I read those stories, so I'm sure you did, unless you turn that all off, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Your life is here. You live here. This is what you know. What goes through your head when you're reading that in the morning, or what's that like when you go through that kind of an experience?
Yeah, I mean, change is scary. I think in any life, you look at a different job, a different role, a different anything. It doesn't have to be just hockey. Change is scary, especially moving cities and you name it. I talked to Craig briefly on this in the summer. It really didn't affect me that much, PD, in terms of, obviously you like to be protected. Everyone, if you're here and you're a player, you'd like to have, the GM, say, yeah, this guy, we want this guy, Harry's not going anywhere. So there's always that. And you'd have to think there's many, many reasons going into that. Obviously, I've had quite a few discussions with my agent, and he talks with obviously Bill. And there's so many scenarios or reasons why, we need this guy, we need that, goalies, whatever it is. But honestly, it doesn't really affect me in terms of coming into this camp, well, screw these guys or anything like that. It is what it is. They had 7, how many guys to protect on forwards, and I wasn't one of them. And it is what it is. I wasn't too worried when it happened too. I mean, if Seattle takes me, obviously they value me higher than someone else. So it really, in my head, if it went one way or another, I don't think it would affect me. Obviously, I really do enjoy the team we have here and the Coyote organization. Obviously, over my time here, I think I've gained some credibility in the locker room and kind of a voice in there. And especially this year with so many, 15, 14 new guys in, there's only a handful of us that's kind of, gone through every day, day-to-day stuff in Arizona and the rink and everything. So it's nice to still be here. That's in the past. I honestly haven't thought about it until you guys talked about it just now.
Sorry about that, Fish.
No, that's it. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I generally, I've from my first day when I was drafted a Coyote till today, I've loved every second of it. I really love this organization. I feel like I've done a lot for this organization and put in a lot of work, and now it's just a time for me to prove and have a really good year and kind of, set that foundation moving forward. I could really enjoy my time being here. I think we have a good core of guys, some freaking all-stars that we have. And it's a really good team. And I don't want to dive too much into the season outlook and stuff like that, but I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be, turn it into a leader in this organization. And I hope to stay here.
So Craig sent in some photos, knowing that you were going to be on here. So we have some photos of you as a child.
Okay.
There they are.
I can't. I don't think I could see it.
With your Chicago mission, we've got you in your Chicago mission gear. You got the Clayton Keller mouth guard going, the Kachuk mouth guard. What is it with you American kids? And I'm an American, so I can say that. With the half mouth guard thing, put the dang thing in your mouth. Your parents paid a lot of money.
You know what it is? I swear to God, you know what it is, and I'm telling you, that's why I did it whenever I was 11, 12 years old. It was Patrick Kane. Yeah. Patrick Kane in the city of Chicago. That is his trade, especially his rookie years. It was I remember it clear as day. That white mouth guard, putting up 100 points.
Okay,
I'm 12 years old. If I chew it, I got to get 100 points, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you this as a parent, and all of our parents that are listeners, put in your dang mouth guard, Fish, because like you just said, kids are watching.
Look at, he's wagging his finger at you.
I paid for the braces.
Wow.
Yeah.
Buddy,
when did Pete get so old?
I will gladly write a check to Mike Fisher for any mouth guard expenses he's paid in the last. That is my dad.
Source of some of those photos as well. We also had you in that Cyclones, the one where you could still fit inside the net.
Yep, I was probably. Did I have a yellow? I probably had a yellow stick too. That was the best.
By the way, have
they
built the statue of you yet at Fox Valley Ice Arena? Is it there?
Not yet. I gotta win. I gotta get one of those silver cups before a statue goes up there. I haven't done nearly enough to get a statue.
Well, they should at least be displaying some photos of you. Clearly, the most famous guy to come through there. So it is home of the Chicago Steel now too. So
it is. It is.
Now you got Josh Doan in the organization, but
we've
talked far too seriously. Like we're going to cut PD off now.
I was going to one more. I was just going to talk one more because he mentioned it about the 14 new guys in the room. Okay. I just want to know because I've been inside the room. You had 2 or 3. You don't have 14.
Yeah,
like are you doing valley tours? Are you doing restaurant tours? Welcome wagons, gift baskets? Like that's a lot. Like name tags. Like that's a lot of new guys. Honestly, it is.
I've been a really good plug for restaurants. I've gotten quite a few texts. I actually just sent Carter Hutton to Cafe Monarch, which is top end dining there. So I've been the restaurant plug. I've actually sent out to Strawman a couple guys just a list of like the stuff I named, True Foods and Flower Child, all the healthy stuff. So it's different. I mean, guys, I think the first day I sent a text out, like we were leaving Exos, and I was halfway there. I was like, I should probably text the group chat and tell them how to enter the arena. I was like, we have 14 guys driving here. I was like, take a left on Maryland. I thought about it. I was like, oh my God. So
it's unique. It's a unique situation.
It's unique. Very unique.
Okay, I'm done with the serious stuff. I'm sorry. And by the way, Fish, before we get into Craig's fun stuff, because that's Craig, we call him Mr. Fun here. No, we don't. We don't. We hope that this is the first of many appearances of you here. And not only are you glad you're here, we're glad you're here. And I know a lot of our listeners and fans of the Coyotes are glad you're here. And so we hope that we get a chance throughout the season to touch base and check in with you. And it won't always be serious hockey talk. We want
I gotta find you when I'm on a hot streak, like an 8-game point streak or something.
We'll get some luck. Maybe that's what it is.
Hey, maybe I'll be a weekly. If I start out hot here, I might have to come in here every week.
Then we'll talk to Rich about Fish Friday.
Fish
Friday. We'll get Rich on that right away. Dilly and Rich. Getting you booked.
I love it.
Okay, now it's the moment Craig has been waiting for.
Well, I think I need to give the floor to Leah here. Do you need to do something?
Well, I was gonna say before we dive into the fun stuff, I just want to remind everyone.
Gotta do work.
Yes, I just want to remind everyone that if you haven't already, to download the Draftkings Sportsbook app using the code PHNX to receive $150 in free bets instantly. And this week on Draftkings, you can do same-game parlays on any NFL game. You'll be credited up to $25 if your bet loses. So we've already talked football a ton, so we don't need to get too much into it, but be sure to sign up Draftkings using the code PHNX and place a $1 bet on any football game to receive your $150 in free bets. Okay, Let's go.
Are we getting into the graphic now?
Should we do the
graphic.
hot topics?
By the way,
for it?
Fish,
think
when
we
I
need to
first
do the hot
started
topics.
the podcast with Craig, like this is something like you had to do within your first few shows. You had to answer these questions that you were going to have to face.
You got to properly vet people.
I know.
You got to know who you're dealing with.
These are the Craig Morgan minions, we
Yeah.
call them. Like these are
I've
the
already
people
been
that
roasted
follow him. And
on
this is
Twitter.
yes. So think carefully before you answer these very, very important questions.
All right.
Okay, I'm done. Let Craig go.
Should we bring up the hot
Yeah,
topic
bring
board?
up the hot topic
Jacob?
board.
Hot
so we
topic
can see-
board.
And-
We can
Christian
see where
Fischer.
everybody stands.
All right.
How
Here
the
we
hot
go.
top. Here they are.
Oh, look at that.
See ya.
Where do we begin?
Fish is in good standing in 3 of his 4 choices here, right? So you can see we have pizza styles, and obviously Fish and I are going to choose Chicago style because we're Chicago guys.
Yeah, it's thin all day. Unless
This-
what's now Detroit style, which is like that
The
flaky.
square.
Yeah, it's
What,
actually
Little Caesars?
but it's that square
That's the deal.
flaky butter like Jets in Nashville. If Fish can remember when we used to get pizza after games when that was allowed.
That was 2015.
That was money pizza. Nashville postgame Jets. Okay, sorry.
Well, Craig, I would just like to point out that 3 of us said ketchup is acceptable on hot dogs, and you were in the minority. So
You see how this is working out for me, Fish?
Yeah, so let's get into that because how am I getting so much heat when 3 of the 4 names here do have ketchup on them?
Exactly.
I kind of stammer.
You're in the
I don't really
minority.
have a good answer for you.
You
what I-
are in the minority.
Again, it's just my upbringing. I'm staying true to my upbringing here. But I
Have
do-
you? When was the last time you tried a hot dog with ketchup on it? I'm gonna pull that card. That's what my mom
maybe
does.
when I was
That's
a child, Fish, before I matured.
That's what I'm gonna pull the mom card on you. Well, you don't like it till you don't try it.
Exactly. It's quick, it's easy, it's efficient, it's not too messy. You're in, you're out, you're done. Done. Easy.
Done.
Ketchup.
Okay.
Easy.
Done.
All right.
Done. I'm with
fine.
you, Fish Dog. Sorry.
Wait, where were you on pizza?
Oh, I said hand tossed. Somewhere right in the
Tossed.
middle.
Was
That's
that
in
a
the middle.
choice?
No, I made it
it's
a
thin or
choice.
thick.
No.
No.
We're
And
all
most
over the
importantly,
map
Fish,
here.
the other one we didn't get to yet, and most important, well, we'll get to the last one last, but beer, which is clearly important. And now I know you're in camp, so you're not drinking any more beer, clearly. That is off the table. No more beer.
Fish's
But-
body's a temple.
Exactly. In the
Yep.
summertime, when you can drink beer, where do you go? Like, what's your choice?
I'm a big rooftop guy in the summer. Rooftop in Chicago. I have
Wow.
whether it be a friend's apartment or at a restaurant. If you give me a blue moon on a rooftop, I might stay there for 10 hours.
The Chicago summers, I will give you this. Chicago summers versus
Yeah.
Arizona summers, they're not very close. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a big, like Chicago in the summer, especially now this time of year.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It can get steamy. We
But
know
it's
it can get really
beautiful.
humid, but
It's
yeah, there are a
beautiful.
lot of times if you get the right weather in the summer in Chicago, man, it's an unbelievable place to hang out.
I know I wrote.
really
I
is.
know I put down golden ale, but Blue Moon is my go-to order.
Blue Moon's a good beer.
100%.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But-
like that.
yeah.
I put down Hefeweizen, but that's kind of similar. To
Yeah,
it,
it's
actually,
it's in the realm.
properties.
I'm
So.
getting so many. I'm getting Christian Fischer pictures texted to me live during the show.
From who?
Whoa.
It's
What's going
unbelievable.
on
I have
here?
you
Undisclosed
visiting
Undisclosed source here.
visiting the ASU campus as a young man.
Oh God.
I'm serious. Former Fox Sports Arizona producer Graham Taylor. So
Look
here's
at
some more
this.
Fisher pictures, one after the other. I don't know if he's got your
I don't know what
family
we're supposed to
album.
do with these now, but
Who are you guys getting all these pictures from?
I know I
Oh,
got
we
you
got,
in the.
we got sources all over
It's
the
amazing.
place.
The USA
All over
Hockey
the place.
Sport Coat one is fantastic. His mugshot. Anyway, back to the thing. We have one more thing left to
What
go.
was our fourth choice?
Donuts.
Donuts.
See.
So the space that is left from the inside of a donut, and you
Yes.
make something out of that. What do you call that?
That is a donut hole.
yes, it's a
But
donut
it
hole.
is not a donut hole because a hole is nothing. A
Yes.
hole is the lack of
You
the
and Luke
thing.
on this one.
The
You-
hole is a lack
Yeah.
of something. Is a hole. There's nothing there. It's a hole. A black hole is the nothing. It's a donut ball.
That's
It's a ball
inappropriate.
made out of
that just
donuts.
It's inappropriate to say that,
sounds
Petey.
so
It's a
weird.
donut
We're a family
ball.
show here.
It's a
And
donut ball.
Okay.
I know I put Timbits. It's because I grew up in Canada, so to
That was a
me,
good answer.
That is a good answer.
that ball is a Timbit to me. But if I did have to choose between, I'm on Team Craig and Fish because donut ball, no.
It's a donut.
In
pub.
that vein, Connor Garland answered Munchkin when I asked him that. So
Yeah. Well,
you get it.
tracks.
He's a big Dunkin' Donuts guy, but
Oh, you muted
I
yourself
think
again.
you muted yourself again, Fish.
Oh,
uh-oh.
Can't hear you now,
oh
buddy.
no.
Oh no.
We lost you again.
He was so.
It says guest has muted.
You did such a good job, Fish, and now you're muted again.
He was so
You
upset
almost
about
did it.
Petey's take on donuts.
I know. I lost
Maybe
him
that
on
was
that.
it. You put him over the
And I
edge.
know if he can still hear us, the one thing I will say, this is my tip to an NHL player today if they're listening. And we know there are players throughout the NHL that are listening live right now, right? We have a big fan base of NHL players. No?
I don't know yet.
On your way to a rink in Canada, when you were going from the hotel to your
There we
morning
go.
skate, Fish, you're about to hear my
I'm
important
back.
take to NHL players, that all the NHL players that are listening live to this show right now, because I know there's lots across the country. Your tip of the day, Fish, when you are walking from your team hotel to the rink for a morning skate in Canada, do not forget to pick up the Timbits for the trainers. That's your tip of the day.
Oh, he's
muted
muted
again.
again.
Pick up your Timbits. So when you go back and listen to this, make sure you pick up the Timbits for the trainers, and you will be forever loved.
Oh man.
This is a thing. This is a real.
It is
thing.
an actual thing. So when you go into the equipment room on the road in Canada and you go to where the guys get their skates sharpened, you should see a box full of Timbits, which are Canadian donut balls,
Mhm.
and an
Balls.
assorted chocolate powdered glazed. And the trainers will work much harder for you that day. The skates will be a little bit sharper. It's your tip of the day. And that is a absolutely 100% true thing. Timbits all over equipment rooms, inside locker rooms across Canada. And Fish, are you gone?
He's still muted.
We got you muted again, buddy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you just don't want to talk to us. This is a-
Well, it's something
this
we'll
is a ploy
continue to
get
work
off,
on,
or-
Yeah.
What's
Craig.
that?
It's something we'll continue to work on. But I think it was a successful first Fish Friday,
It's a
don't
great
you?
show. Great show. Always good to have Fish in the house.
Yeah. So we're telling you.
There we go. I'm back.
Oh, he's
Oh,
back.
he's-
I think does someone else have the features on my thing? Because I'm not muting it. It just keeps getting muted. So, are you muting me, PD?
No, I would. If I could to hear myself talk more, I absolutely
We're
would,
gonna launch
because
an
I love it.
investigation.
But we're on it. You know what? This is only the second time we've done this, so we're still working through kinks.
Who was the first guest?
Liam Kirk we had before the rookie tournament.
The British,
Yeah,
Yes.
the British boy.
it was a great interview, by the way. We talked a little soccer, a little football. But we'll work through
I will.
this.
I will agree. Just to reiterate, PD is 100% correct.
Oh no.
Oh,
I think
we'll leave it at that.
That had to
Yeah.
be Petey.
that was a
Can we-
perfect point
Can
to
we cut
mute.
that?
See, now it could be me, right? Like
we-
when you
can
said Petey was
And his
100%
hands weren't
correct,
even
that's a
touching
good time
it,
for me
so
to mute you.
Can we cut that? Petey was 100% correct. That-
Let's
and
just
cut.
I'll
isolate
cut that clip for
We're
your
gonna
Twitter.
isolate
Thank
that
you.
as a
Good
drop.
night.
That's beautiful.
Wow, that's a good show. That is a good show.
Somebody, I wonder if it's getting affected.
By their.
I don't.
Mm.
By their.
Possible.
We're gonna have to.
Well, we'll wrap it up today.
yeah,
with
we're gonna have
Fish.
to. We're
Rip,
gonna have to figure this out,
Fish.
Fish.
Thanks for joining us today, Fish. I know you can't say thanks back. We'll get this solved for part 2 of Fish Friday, I promise. And I can't wait to see. I know Craig and I will be around the rinks a lot, and hopefully Leah can get out there too to watch you play. Thanks for coming on, Fish. And
Thanks,
we'll talk
buddy.
real soon. Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
See you at camp.
He gave us a thumbs up.
We did get a thumbs up from Fish for those listening at home.
Oh man.
All right. You guys are you closing out the show? Are you good?
Oh yeah.
Are we
Well,
good?
that was fun. That was funny. I
Yeah.
enjoyed
Yeah.
that. And we still have more hot topic questions we can get to him.
Oh yeah, we can make this a regular thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that he showed up with the ketchup bottle in hand and specified
Gave it to us in
organic.
3D.
And I'm curious to see. It's funny, and people got to hear his personality. This is who he is. He's going to talk, and I don't know if you saw the running theme that he kind of said that I think he thinks they're going to be better than what we
He
think.
said
we
that
give
to
them
me
credit
when I
for.
talked to him at the Ice 10 this summer. He said, first of all, there's motivation. They see what everyone's saying about
Yeah.
them. There's that group of players like Kean Kells and Schmaltz and Chikrin and Lawson Krause who have an opportunity to take another step forward, maybe, secure larger roles. Maybe not Jacob Chikrin because he's already got a big role, but all those other guys may get bigger roles, may get more opportunity. And then you've got this group of players coming in. We've talked about them, the guys that are on one-year contracts, the guys that have basically been discarded by other franchises. They all have something to prove. That doesn't mean all of them are going to find their game again. Some of them, quite bluntly, probably won't. But you just don't know. They're all motivated. They all have something to play for. Bill Armstrong said this at Media Day as well. This is a hungry hockey club, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And it was good to hear that in his voice. Like he can.
Yeah.
I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Early.
He absolutely believes that.
Us against the world goes a long way, man.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah, I mean that got me pumped for the season to get started for sure. I love him to come up with a dining guide for Scottsdale. Love to see that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll have to come up with a title for that too.
Yeah, I wanna see his recommendations and where he's door dashing from. So get some tips there. Well, if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you can receive notifications every time a PHNX show goes live. Be sure to subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts, the PHNX Coyotes podcast, as well as follow us on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. And then you can follow PHNX_sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere you can get it. So we're always putting out great content, and so is Craig, and we're always retweeting Craig. So
Feel pressure.
Why do you feel pressure?
It's great content.
It is great content.
No, I just want all of the people that are going to go PHNX to have a little bit of patience as we work through. And you've seen it in the Discord where people have commented. There are little kinks yet. It's only our second week. It's show 12. Like, I appreciate your patience, and all of these things will get worked out. And sometimes things take time.
And we will investigate whether Petey was actually.
I know. I just wanted to talk.
That was. So
I literally
funny.
just wanted to talk more. And by the way, Petey was 100% right. We need that sound bite.
The fact that cut off.
Jacob, you can go ahead and delete that.
I want that on a button where we can hit it every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You think I'm kidding? I want that. We have the clap meter. I want that. Petey was 100% right.
Oh,
anyway, it was a good
man.
show.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next week again with 3 live shows, 2 podcasts. We got some ASU stuff coming up.
Can we say it?
Yeah.
We're going to have Greg Powers on the show in studio on Wednesday. ASU coach Greg Powers will be in studio on Wednesday to preview the ASU scene, which is, it's a really interesting season for that program, launching into the new arena, bunch of new faces, some talent in that program, some guys returning. There's a lot to talk about, but Greg's a great interview too. It'll be great to have him in studio.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I know I'm a U of A alum, but I really support like NCAA ASU hockey because I think it's really great for the Southwest. So I'm a big proponent of that. So yes, be sure to check us out next week with all of that, and be following along on Twitter for all the info on that as well. And any closing thoughts from either of you?
We got preseason game Monday. So
yeah,
I
we
think
are.
Craig and I will both be
It is
there.
amazing how quickly they roll into the preseason, huh?
I think we're there Monday, aren't we? I'm going to go. Are you going to go?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go.
Of course, Craig's
Wow.
Going to be there.
Yeah.
Hockey is back.
Yeah, we'll see. The hockey's back.
How would I do that? Now it is preseason hockey, so
yeah. I'm curious to see when we see rosters for that too, and I want to talk about that, and we'll talk on Monday's show on how those rosters get built and what coaches and managers are thinking, and what goes into building the plan for games. It's a puzzle.
Cool. Well, we got lots to talk about, and on closing, PD was 100%.
PD's 100% right.
Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.